Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to the Main Street Cinema, the show where we discuss the finer points of filmmaking. And Dragon, tonight you have not seen this very highly anticipated film, arguably one of the most anticipated films of 2017. But I have, and I'm going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, that's right, folks. It was all a little last minute for me, so again, I don't even know what movie we're talking about here. So, Tiki, why don't you start by telling me and the folks at home what it was the movie you saw was called? What was it?
It.
Yes, Tiki, but what's the title?
It.
The name, Tiki. What's the movie called?
The movie's It.
Tiki, I get that it's popular, but what's it called?
We're talking about the movie called It.
The movie called what?
The title.
They made it. Surely they anticipated the title.
The movie is It.
What are you asking me for?
All
right. Look, let's skip the title for now. Sell me on it. What's the movie about?
It's about a band of misfit kids in a suburban neighborhood who are terrorized by It.
Oh, silly Tiki. That's Stranger Things. And then the monster's called a demigorgon.
No, you don't get it.
Get what?
It.
Forget the title for a second. Tell me about the monster. What is it?
It's a clown.
Where? All right, look, if you don't want to tell me about the movie or even its title, fine. You can talk about it alone, because I've had it. Good day, sir.
You know, the title is right on the poster, right? You know, the poster that I'm screen sharing right now? Oh, he left. He hung up triumphantly like Dick McDonald at the end of The Founder. Well, anyways, folks, you have me here for the next 5 minutes or so. I'm going to be telling you my immediate feelings about It, which is, of course, the highly anticipated Stephen King adaptation, aka the good Stephen King adaptation. Yes, folks, it was rough seas ahead for Stephen King fans with The Dark Tower. Truly a disappointment, a letdown, just a betrayal to the source material in a lot of ways. You know, it's not a betrayal to the source material, even though it changes some things around and really does kind of make it sort of like cool Elseworlds kind of a 1980s as opposed to 1950s timeline. It. So just a couple things to hit with this before we get into the spoiler cast with Jacob and Sandy, hopefully, probably within the next week or so. It is not going to be one of the scariest movies you're going to see. I feel like the hype surrounding this movie is purely on the scary clown element. And while the scary clown element is there, is enforced, they do a really good job of showcasing just how many freaky qualities Pennywise has. You know, the stuff in the book that makes Pennywise much more than just a scary clown is in full effect. Here's the thing about Pennywise and Bill Skarsgård. This guy is at his scariest when he's just straight up talking, when he's just luring the kids in and just kind of talking in that, you know, that predatory way where it's like it almost kind of like falsely lures you into a sense of security as well in the audience. And it makes for a fantastic opening scene. Unfortunately, I don't think Pennywise gets enough dialogue in this movie, and I need to see it again because this movie's definitely driving from a lot of angles. It's truly a film. Like, it's one of those movies you hoist up as like, this is a movie, gosh darn it. This is what we go to the big screen to see. This is why cinema was invented. And I say that because I really do think, I mean, just goddamn, from the production values, the script, the casting, the music alone, this thing is, I mean, it might not be one of the scarier horror movies released in the past decade, but it's certainly one of the best horror movies released in the past decade, just based purely on how well this movie shot, how good the main characters interact with each other, how effective the scares that are in the movie are pulled off, how inventive the scares are. This movie's got a lot of things riding on it, and it lived up to a lot. Basically, I've had some hyped movies over the past couple of years doing this podcast. Of course, 2015, Jurassic World really really delivered on the first 20 minutes, but then let me down when the plot started to get going. Blair Witch was something that I super hyped up from Comic-Con, came out around the same time slot, like early September of last year. And I don't remember a damn thing about Blair Witch except oh yeah, the drone gets lost in the tree and the girl's in the tunnel at one point. This is a movie I can't wait to go back and watch again. And not just because of the Pennywise stuff. I just really want to take in the story, the characters. Here's the thing with the characters that makes it so great. If any of you ever wanted to see a live-action South Park, I swear this is probably the closest thing you're going to get. This movie is live-action South Park, with a mix of, Hey Arnold, too, with the mythology and the folklore and the scariness. This movie, like I said, it truly is, of course you're going to sell it as a horror movie, and that's... At the end of the day, though, this movie does kind of feel more like a Steven Spielberg, Amblin kind of red-blooded adventure. And I do think it does a better job than Stranger Things in the long run of pulling together this misfit group of characters into a really compelling story, a really compelling narrative. I really want to see how all these characters make it out. I really want to see how all their characters progress into Chapter 2, which we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed for that. So yeah, this is definitely the most hyped I've been coming out of a movie theater since probably Dawn or War of the Planet of the Apes. However, I think at the end of the day, while War of the Planet of the Apes certainly relies more on the technical side of things, it's a technical marvel. I think this is just straight up masterful storytelling. It's great casting. The script is rock solid. The performances all around are excellent. The scares are well executed, and it's not overbearing with how many jump scares there are or anything like that. So I am kind of in a rough spot. I don't want to call this movie my favorite of the year yet. I still am going to have Dunkirk as my favorite of the year so far, but this is a solid number 2. This is sliding right in between Dunkirk and War for the Planet of the Apes. So yeah, folks, have you seen it? Let me know if you like it or not. And, hopefully I can clear up the confusion with Blue Dragon 5 because he can be a stubborn man sometimes. Anyways, see you guys later. And, just remember, you'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. Okay, to be honest, the You'll Float 2 thing, something I wasn't looking forward to in the trailer, actually executed quite well in the film. Just saying. All right, have a good night, everyone.